Welcome, everyone, to my Dynamics weekly newsletter and podcast with a focus on news relating to Microsoft Dynamics 365, AX, GP, NAV, and SL. This is mainly in connection with, but not limited to, financial reporting, budgeting, and analysis. Noah here, and I'm glad to be back with you. This podcast edition continues our focus on budgeting, looking at line item detail, which is a great feature used by a lot of budgeters as they go through the budgeting process. Line item details lets individual users insert additional rows of detail to an input account, change the label to be more descriptive, and enter the balances for this new entry. Instead of typing in, say, $10,000 for the supplies account, a budgeter can add additional rows of line item details to the supplies account and break down that $10,000 into stuff like office supplies, cleaning supplies, printer ink, and whatever else they may want to mark for that $10,000. And the budgeters can add as many rows of line item details to any account uh, as they need to, and without having to ask the budget administrator to add the new rows for them, and without any problems with the consolidation process. Line item details may be probably one of my favorite budget features available. That will be the first topic we talk about for this podcast here. We're also going to talk about the recent budget topics we posted. Those are adding up pretty well for us. We'll talk about Prospero financial reporting and budgeting demonstrations. Also, DynamicsCon was in Chicago this past week. We'll talk a little bit about that. Planning for other Microsoft Dynamics conferences. Trial sites are available for Prospero financial reporting and budgeting. Dynamic Communities Academy classes are going to be in October. And we have classes in June for 365 F&O financial reporting, Microsoft Dynamics Management Reporter for AX, GP, and SL, Prospero financial reporting for 365 BC, 365 F&O, AX, GP, NAV, and SL. A lot of great topics there for this podcast edition. Let's start off with how to create a line item detail report for budgeting. This information applies to all of the Microsoft Dynamics ERP solutions, Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central, F&O, AX, GP, NAV, and SL. So it all applies to any of those equally. So the line item detail reports give you additional information that you can't get on the input screens for HR detail or in the HR management screens for budgeting. This will provide you dollar amounts per month by each individual person for their wages, bonuses, taxes, benefits, and anything else that is populated by their HR details. Now, for line detail reports, specific settings are needed in the line definition, column definition, and in the report definition. So all three of those are affected. In the line definition, a line definition can reference any account to which line details have been added. Now, this is for the report, not for the input. This is for the reports here. The line definition has to reference that account. Now, just simply referencing those accounts with the line item details that are posted to it does not in itself display the individual line item details that have been added to those accounts. In order for that extra information to show up in the reports, the user also, or the person building the report, has to also specify expand details field and set up the detail type field. So typically the expand details field, I'll have that set so it shows below that row. So it's just an option of before or after. And then the detail type field is set to the type of data, which is line items. Those are in your line definition settings, and you'll need those in order to get that extra information to show up. Column definitions. A column definition will reference description and balance columns. Column definitions may have line item detail type columns added, but they are not required. You don't have to have them. You could get by just with the monthly balances. if you just care about the dollar amounts, which is great, which is mostly what I care about anyway, doing the budgets. Capital column detail fields include segment codes, segment labels, and latest annotation. It also is helpful to have a row segment ID type, and maybe in on the left hand side in column A. This The column definition can be set up to reference a generic book code and a generic year, so that you don't have to have a new column definition from one year to the next. So if you can get by with a generic year reference and a generic book code reference, you can reuse this column definition. Same thing applies to the line definition. The line definition really doesn't tie to a specific year or book code, so you can reuse that line definition from one year to the next. The report definitions will reference the line item detail, line definition, and column definition that we just talked about. It will also need to reference the correct year. So if your line details is in 2025, your report definition has to run for 2025, unless it's hard coded in the column definition, which I would avoid that if you can. The input definition filter is not needed for line item detail reports. I think that I may have to take that back. Yeah, I'm going to take that back. You do need the input definition filter specified in the report definition, so that the line item details knows what input definition to pull the data from. These line item references for the line definition, column definition, and the input definition, those are specified on the design tab of the report definition itself. Also, since line item detail report definitions are tied to a specific input definition, line item detail report definitions are best copied from one budget cycle to the next. So you have a unique report from one year to the next. If you have the first year already done, you right click on the name of that report definition and select copy. And then switch out the year reference in the line item line input definition that's referenced. Key points to keep in mind about line item detail reports. Line definitions require references to line item detail accounts with expand detail and the detail type field selected. Column definitions may have line item detail type columns added, but they are not required. You might just get by with the description and the balance columns. Report definitions must be set for a specific year and input definition filter. Those are on the design tab of the report definition. Line definitions and column definitions may be reused from one year to the next. Makes that really easy for reusing those definitions. But report definitions are best copied from one year to the next, and then update the input definition filter and the year on the design tab. Hopefully, these tips will help you get the best use of Prospero financial reporting and budgeting. But email me if you need more help at noah.mosley@msxgroup.com. There's also a separate link or post on my LinkedIn account that has a PDF attachment and any related comments for this topic as well. Now, this is just the latest budget topic I've been adding to our series of podcasts here and newsletters. The others, I just want to reference those so you know that they are out there. And they're all posted under my LinkedIn account or on our website on the message boards. How to lock and unlock budget data, preparing to start your first forecast of the year, use copy plan to copy budget details between versions, how to best manage book codes, how to create capital detail reports, how to create an HR detail report, and this new one, how to create a line item detail report. Great information for budgeters out there. So keep those topics in mind that they are posted on my LinkedIn account and on our website, msxgroup.com, and the boards on that website, the forums. Prospero demos. We have posted dates for Prospero financial reporting and budgeting demonstrations that run throughout the rest of this year, usually twice a month. Registration is on our website. The May webinars are set for the 21st, that's this Wednesday, and the 22nd, so back to back 2 days in a row. These webinars start at 2 p.m. Central, and we're using GoToWebinar for attending these. These are 1 hour or less online demonstrations of the financial reporting, budgeting, and forecasting features of Prospero financial reporting and budgeting. These demos, we do record them, and we'll post those later to the website and on LinkedIn as well. But to get that link, it's an easy process. Just go online, even if you can't attend, register for the webinar so that you get the email with the link in it. Now, when we do these demonstrations, the topics that we typically cover these topics. We may add more. We might skip some depending on the questions that come in from the audience. We usually discuss financial reporting, which includes report generation, drill down to account and transaction level details, summarizing drill down by any company, segments, or dimensions, numeric and graphical analysis of report data, and report distribution options. For budgeting and forecasting, we usually talk about the main input screens, including line item detail entries and notes, the input screen for human resource budgeting, the input screen for capital budgeting, the history that's kept for all of your budget changes, using budget or statistical accounts for calculating balances, and instant consolidation. For the forecasting piece, we do bring up and mention the copy plan option to copy data from a source budget or forecast to a new budget or forecast. And it's easy to include actuals in those forecast input screens just by changing the date. DynamicsCon, that was a conference that was just in Chicago last week. That was by Dynamics User Group, and they had it in Chicago, May 13th through the 16th. We had a session on Management Reporter on Wednesday afternoon, and we did record and post several podcasts with other session presenters leading up to the conference. So those are on our podcast feed and on my LinkedIn account as well. And we're also this week working on recap podcasts with those same presenters, and should have those out over this week and next week, just to look back and see how things went in Chicago. Early bird registration is open for next year. The 2026 conference is set for May 12th through May 15th. It's in Las Vegas at the Fontainebleau. And that is, I don't think they had the website updated, but they're handling that through eventbrite.com. And you can go to eventbrite.com and search for DynamicsCon in Vegas for next year. Planning for Microsoft Dynamics conferences. There are a few that we try to keep track of, and it's easy for us to forget and let these sneak up on us. But for this year, May, we just finished up with DynamicsCon up in Chicago. Vision is being held this week in Michigan, hosted by the TM Group. They're having that through just on May 25th, one day there for that. October is the next big one that we have on our list for summits. That's October 19th to 23rd. That's going to be down in Orlando, Florida, hosted by Dynamic Communities. So some really just one that we're going to be doing at the end of the year and in October for 2026, those same conferences repeat, except for Vision that goes every other year. So Vision is not again until 2027. We also want to point out that in April of next year, Directions NA is scheduled for April 27th through April 29th. That's also going to be in Orlando. That's hosted by Directions North America, and that is on their website ready as well, directionsna.com. And next year, we have DynamicsCon in May. I mentioned early in this podcast that is May 12th through 15th. Registration is open for early birds, and that is going to be in Las Vegas. And then next year, October 26th, that is Summit again. It's usually in October, and they usually do not announce where it's going to be the year after um, until the week of the current conference. So as soon as I get the 26th location, I'll update the website for you. How about financial reporting options for Dynamics 365 Business Central? We've been working with a few clients that have just recently moved to 365 Business Central and the partners, and our decision on how to handle financial statements for them is simple. While we are available to assist clients in their reporting needs in BC, in which we'll end up probably pushing reports out to Excel, and we help you with that as well. We are actually encouraging users of BC to look at Prospero Financial Reporting. Prospero just has such an easier interface in building, generating, and distributing financial reports. Plus, Prospero is meant for accountants to use without the need for IT or people with special programming language expertise. Most of the knowledge needed for building reports in Prospero is available in pop-up suggestion windows or drop-down lists. Let us set you up a trial site for Prospero using your own GL data. You'll see immediately the advantages of using Prospero financial reporting over BC's built-in financial reporting. Now, BC's built-in financial reporting is great. It just has a lot of bells and whistles that Prospero BC's financial reporting does not have a lot of bells and whistles that Prospero does have. And we can discuss those in one of our demonstrations with you as well, or in one-on-one calls. Just let me know. Trial sites, a great way for you to get your hands on a working version of Prospero. These are for 30-day trial sites. You can get on our waiting list. That's for reporting and budgeting. Trial sites may use Prospero demonstration data, or it can also be set up with your own real data, your own general ledger chart of accounts, your calendar, your book codes, your budgets, your account balances, and transactions. We'll set up a couple of test reports for you and walk you through in an online session on how to access the trial site, navigate the application, generate reports, make changes to reports, and analyze data. A really easy learning process. Trial sites are free, no credit card needed, and you are under no obligation to purchase Prospero at the end of your trial. To let us know you are interested in a trial site, use that book an appointment link in LinkedIn, or just message me here in the comments section. I mentioned Summit a little bit earlier in this podcast, and another big point about Summit is also the academy classes that lead up to Summit. We have two classes assigned to us at Dynamic Community Summit in October of this year for F&O AX. That's listed as the class is listed as FO/AX D365 F&O Financial Reporting. And our second class is for the GP group, GP Management Reporter, Report Building Basics. Registration is open. That is going to be the Management Reporter classes on the 18th, which is a Saturday before Summit, and the 365 F&O Financial Reporting classes the next day on Sunday, the 19th. For the management reporter class, even though it's listed under the GP section, if you are a user of AX and SL, you can come to that class as well. The application does not change between AX, SL, and GP. We'll walk you through all those things, regardless whether you're using AX, GP, or SL. Both of these classes are all-day events, 8 o'clock through 5 o'clock, in an actual classroom environment in Orlando. It's not online. Your instructor will be in the room with you, leading demonstrations, hands-on exercises, and discussions. Registration for Summit is open. It's been open for a while now. Registration for Academy classes is open as well. And you can register for Academy classes even if you do not go to Summit. So come to one of our Financial Reporting Academy classes, stick around for Summit if you can, and go to Disney World or Universal sometime while you're down there. Other training classes, we have 3 classes that we have scheduled coming up in June. That's going to be on June 17th, 18th, and 19th. On June 17th, we have a Management Reporter Report Building Basics class that applies for AX users, GP users, and SL users. This is a hands-on, instructor-led training class online. We provide Management Reporter users the knowledge they need to successfully build and manage financial statements and Microsoft's financial reporting and analysis solution. This class is taught by one of our certified instructors using our company training materials. And we also provide the training environment for you as well. And during these classes, the instructor will walk you through demonstrations, discussions, hands-on exercises for building reports from scratch, like trial balance statements, income statements, using reporting trees, all those details. It's a great report training class if you're brand new to Management Reporter, or if you just need a refresher. Or maybe you've been using Management Reporter for a while, but you just never had official training. That's what we're here for. On the 18th, we have a seminal class for Dynamics 365 F&O financial reporting. Pretty similar topics, pretty similar schedule, building reports from scratch, trial balance statements, income statements, using reporting trees, led by one of our instructors, all online from the comfort of your own office or home or wherever you may be. And then on the 19th, we have a Prospero financial reporting class for users of that application. Very similar. We walk you through exercises, hands-on, discussions about the product. We guide you through building trial balance statements, building income statements, departmental and location income statements, forecasted income statements. All that we walk you through. If you are brand new to Prospero Financial Reporting, this is a great class for you to get that hands-on training with an instructor-led classroom online. All right, everybody. Thanks, all of you. That's all I'm going to post for this podcast. I'm glad you could join me. As always, send me your comments. Good and bad comments are welcomed, but constructive comments are preferred. Likes, shares, and reposts are appreciated. Subscribes are welcome as well. You can subscribe to Dynamics Weekly, the newsletter on LinkedIn, and you can subscribe to the podcast directly on my YouTube channel. All right, everybody. Thank you and have a great week.